In the world of rugby, the words of great names always carry significant weight, and when iconic figures like Jan de Villiers and Skulk Burger talk about the Springboks' choices, the discussion is guaranteed. Recently, the conversation has focused on Manie Libbok, the talented box fly half, and the dilemma he poses for the team due to his struggles with goal kicking. Jan de Villiers, one of the biggest names in South African rugby, did not hold back when discussing the challenge of selecting Libbok for decisive matches. He highlighted the player's quality, but didn't shy away from pointing out the risk that comes with his inconsistencies in kicking. No one regrets it and hates it more than Manie that he missed that kick. He's a fantastic fly half, he's a fantastic attacking player. Defensively, he makes his tackles. He's not a dominant tackler like a Handré Pollard or a Sacha Feinberg Ngomezulu or a Damian Willemse, but he can do a proper job for you. Jan de Villiers stated on the Box Office podcast. However, he also added, "Unfortunately for him, and that's what he needs to realize, there is a risk by selecting him as a fly half with the goal kicking if you don't have someone else backing up. For a fly half, that is a tough thing, but is he a bad player? Certainly not." Jan didn't stop there. He went further and made an important distinction that has sparked debate among fans. That's unfortunately the reality now with Manie. You almost need to differentiate between Manie as a fly half and Manie as a kicker. This analysis is reinforced by another box legend, Skulk Burger, who also didn't mince words when talking about Rassie Erasmus's decision to keep Libbok in the starting lineup for the crucial match against Argentina. Skulk believes that, in a World Cup scenario, the approach would have been different. If this was a World Cup playoff, my gut feeling is that Handré would have moved to 12 when Manie came on. Handré would have stayed on the field for exactly that reason, to kick the winning goal. Despite the criticisms and concerns, Skulk sees this as part of the team's growth and evolution process. It's part of this box team's evolution. You've got to expose players, you've got to lose test matches to be able to know it's not happening in 2027 in a World Cup playoff match. The players have got to make those mistakes before that. Luckily, it happens 3 years before the next World Cup, so you've got a chance to improve your skill set, if you're Manie Libbok, to prove them wrong. Meanwhile, Rassie Erasmus, who has shown confidence in Libbok by naming him again as a starter, is looking for alternatives to relieve the pressure on the fly half. The coach knows that the success of a team doesn't rely solely on one player, but on how the entire squad responds to adversity and adjusts on the field. And as Skulk wisely pointed out, he's a great attacking player and Rassie rates him for it. You've got an opportunity to learn from those mistakes. Certain players last weekend might not have had the physical output that they wanted to, but Rassie will tell them to go and play URC and come back a better player. That's how this Bok team, hence why we've got 30 of the best international players at our disposal. So what's really at stake for the Springboks? Is this bet on Libbok as a starter, despite the criticisms and risks, the right decision for the team's future? And how will the team adjust to address the weaknesses that have been exposed in recent games? Rassie Erasmus's decision certainly raises these and many other questions as the Boks seek their path to glory once again. Leave your comment below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest news and discussions about the future of rugby.